Hello students, this is Gokila from the Department of Computer Science with Cybersecurity. Today we are going to discuss about how to pass the values to a function. So let me explain why we use a function first. A function is anything that does a specific task again and again. It allows one to develop a program into a modular fraction. It falls under a category of divide and conquer approach. That means it is used to divide the main program into many subtasks. The subtasks are solved first in order to assemble the main task. Using the functions, we can able to use the same code by calling the same function again and again. Once a function is defined, the function can be used anywhere with any situation and executes the same type of code. It means a set of tasks is assigned to a particular module that is used to solve a specific problem. Using functions, you can also hide the internal details of a function. Every C program consists of one or more functions. One of these functions is called as main function. Without main function, we cannot able to execute the program in C programming. The execution of the program always begins with a main function. The main function may be a void main function or an int main function. When we use a void main function, we don't want to return the value to a function. When we use an int main function, we have to return a value to the functions. Function calls another functions as instructions. That instructions are used to specifically task the program and divide that into a specific module, and that specific module is used everywhere in the program. It's an example of a function. So when we go for the example of a function, we have print banner. So this function is called as function declaration. When we go for a function, there are three types in a function, which is called as function declaration, function definition, and function call. Function declaration is naming a function with a particular data type, like how we name a variable with the data type like integer, float, character, etc. A function can also be declared with void print. That is, the data type of a function is void and the name of the function is print banner, and it is being called inside another function, which is the main function. Without main function, we cannot able to execute a program. So the main function is used for calling a function. So with that, the function is called and executed. So when we call a function, we may pass the information to the called function. That information is called as parameters or arguments. That is, the data inside a function is called as parameters or arguments. We can pass a value as a parameter or argument to another function. Some function will not return anything. So this is called as calling function, which is a caller, and another one is called as a callee function, which is called function. So the values inside that particular round brackets is called as parameters or arguments. The function here consists of a cent, which is called as centimeter, and Fahrenheit, and that variables is used for calculating in a function cent. That parameters is being passed as a value to a particular function. Here we are using a technology called as calling function, called function, parameters, invoking a function, returning a value to a function. So this is a defining function. A function definition has two parts. One is called as a first line, which is a header, and second is called as the body of the function. The header function determines the function declaration, that is the return type of a particular function. And the body of the function is called as the task that is to be done in a particular function. So a function, once when it is defined, it must be declared for sure. If the function is not declared, we cannot define a function. Even you can call a function after declaration, but it will not execute any task because we have never defined a function. When we pass an argument or a parameter value to a function, it will return the function's own task to another, so that the particular task will be executed to whoever the function arguments or parameters have been passed. The first line here returns the indicated return type value of the function, like function name, optionally a set of commas separated by the arguments, and it's enclosed with a parenthesis. Each argument has an associated type declaration. The arguments are called as formal arguments or formal parameters. The body of the function is actually a block of statement that defines the action to be taken by the function. Parameter passing. When the function is executed, the value of the actual parameters is copied to the formal parameters. The actual parameters are the parameters that is present inside a main function, whereas formal parameters are the parameters that is passed to a function that is being declared inside another function. The value of the actual parameters is passed to the value of the formal parameters. So this is an example of the values passed to a actual parameters with the formal parameters. The function name is called as GCD. It has the parameters A and B. The value of B is passed to 0 and the value of B divided by A is passed to another variable called as a temporary variable. The formal parameters is passed to an actual parameters B, and B is assigned to A and A is assigned to swapped to another variable called as temp. So this is an example of passing values to a particular function. Thank you students. Hope you understand. Thank you all.